G'day, this is Jim from Living Life Now. Today I'm talking about a port day in Livorno. Livorno is the gateway to the province of Tuscany. Tuscany has many great towns, but the two notable ones are Pisa and Florence. But this is not your only option from Livorno. There's great Tuscan towns and countrysides and wineries on offer there. And you know, I think a couple notable ones are Lucca, Siena, Volterra, and San Gimengio or something. Forget my language. I can't pronounce these words, so just go with it. So we were there in 2019 and we did the Pisa Florence day tour, which is a must. I mean, they are two great sites. Pisa is about half an hour from Livorno, so that's your first stop, and you get the picture, you know, holding up the tower, and then you hop on the bus there, and then you go into Florence. Now, in Pisa, they kind of park just outside the town, and you kind of walk in there. By memory, it's about a 15-20 minute walk, depending on the pace of the group. And the same with Florence too. They park you just outside and you do a little walk in. Now Florence is a walking town. It's one of the most walkable towns, cities in the world. The streets are blocked off. It's got the cobblestone, everything, all the attractions are within 10 minutes of each other. It's the Renaissance capital of the world, and it's a capture of that era, and the sculptures are just amazing, the architecture is amazing, and you can just get lost in just that town, just walking around. But there are other options. We were very tempted by the great option of those other Tuscan towns and getting caught in the dream of going to a winery and having lunch, and some of those towns are just beautiful. That San, I got caught in the San Gimengio or whatever it's called. It's the one on the hill with the towers, and it was just, yeah, I got caught looking at that and went, wow. But you can't go past Florence. We kept on coming back to Florence as the destination, and yeah, because it's only our second time. There'll be other world cruises that have been there multiple times, but we can't go to this port and not go to Florence. The food, the leather shopping. This time we'd probably really like to see the statue of David. So, you know, I think we looked that up. It was $52 a ticket to skip the line. For an hour and 15 minutes in there, but apparently you only need half an hour in that place. But we're happy just to walk around and take the architecture and take it all in from the outside. Go to the markets, grab yourself some pork and bread and just some of the classic Italian dishes. Wine in the wall. You can grab a wine or a drink through one of these little holes in the wall, go to the squares. Last time we were there, we were bothered a few times by some aggressive people that try to put a band on your wrist and try to sell you something. I had to get a little bit assertive, I recall. So just be aware of that as you're wandering around Florence. So yeah, we're really looking forward to Florence, and I'll just lay out as usual, lay out the temperature and everything. Okay, we arrive in Livorno on July the 12th. It's a Saturday, not that that should matter, but we're there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sunrise that day is at 5:49 and sunset is at 8:59. Historically, the average max temperature is about 30 degrees. So it'll be a little warm, and again, we're in peak summer, peak tourist season. It will be busy, especially, and all the towns, even those smaller Tuscan villages, in researching them, they're all going to be busy. So sometimes the smaller towns is actually busier because just with the ratio of people. So just for noting, in Livorno there's also going to be the Norwegian Epic in port at the same time. It arrives about 2 hours after us and holds about 4,200 people. The good thing is we're there for 2 hours earlier than they arrive at 9, we're there at 7. So we plan to get off early that day and try to get out and about and take advantage of that early start. The Princess tours aren't out yet, but yeah, they'll be the standard tours, and there'll be lots available there out of this port because it's a gateway port, and it's a tried and true port on any Mediterranean calendar or itinerary. So anyway, I hope that's helpful.
Okay, so for Linda and I, we've decided to go to Florence. We've decided to go direct to Florence and look for a tour that maximises our time in Florence and doesn't go through Pisa. Once we're in Florence, we plan to get there early, get off the ship early and get the earliest tour we can. We will book a skip the line tour for the Accademia to see David Michelangelo's masterpiece. 17-foot statue, 500 years old, and really looking forward to seeing this. We'll have lunch at the San Lorenzo markets. We will look for a wine window. The Duomo, we're not going to climb that. We looked at climbing that, but we'll look at that from the ground. It's beautiful from the ground. Basically, Florence is a huge open-air museum. It's the most walkable city in the world, and we're just going to enjoy walking around it, maybe do a bit of leather shopping. Not that it's super cheap there, but it is quality, and it is Florence. So we were very tempted to not go to Florence and pick another town, there's a few beautiful Tuscan towns within 2 hours of this port. It is very tempting and to go to a winery and have some Chianti and see the Tuscan hills and just immerse ourselves in that. The deciding factor was that it's peak tourism season. We definitely want to do other Tuscan villages, but we have decided to kind of do that maybe when we've got a little bit more time or when we revisit on a shoulder season, if we're ever fortunate enough to do so. But more experienced travellers, please feel free to leave comments and let us know your thoughts, or anybody. It's a tough call. There's so much to do from this port, but we've decided on Florence. At this stage, we might change our mind. All right, I hope you found this helpful. Thank you.